Okay, our final speaker, and then we're going to have a speakers panel where you guys can ask questions, is Parish Hattub, and she is going to come up and share about her life. She is Persian by descent. She's fled her homeland. I'm not sure how much of this she's going to be sharing, but she is a very, very well-known retreat founder. She's led retreats all over the world. She is a spiritual healer. She's an activist, and she is an extremely powerful woman. She's a force. So why don't you come up, Parish?
Do we need to put your table forward? Yeah, okay.
You gonna get behind it?
I'm sure it's split up. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'll just ask everyone to please stand up for a second. And if you can turn to the person to your right for a minute. Everyone has a person, and if you don't, find someone on your right and just look into their eyes and just hold space. Hold space for just a few seconds and feel the love. Feel the energy that we are creating in this space together. So when we look at each other in one another's eyes, there are stories that we all have to share. We are all beautiful lights in this earth. And when we take the second to look into one another's eyes, we connect with that heart coherence. Thank you. You may have a seat. You would have thought I flew here with my suitcase with all my, I'm like Mary Poppins. What is in my suitcase? We're going to have to use our imagination a little bit because I brought candles for us, but I cannot light them. So I invite you to use your imagination when I do my beautiful storytelling. And I'm Persian and we can't sit still, so I apologize if I move around a little bit. It's so wonderful to be here. Do I need to use the mic?
Yeah, I want it real close.
It's so wonderful to be here with you all. Can you hear me in the back?
Yes.
Yes. My story, and I welcome emotions. I myself am a healer. I'm an emotional, sensitive, empathic soul. And usually when I talk, I hold space in circles and retreats. There is always energy moved. So if you feel that energy moving within yourself, give yourself permission to allow that energy to be released. If someone would have told me I would be speaking and sharing my story in many platforms that I have the past 20 years, I would say, no, not a immigrant little girl that had to leave her country of Iran when she was 4 years old. When the government was overthrown in Iran, my father was a very well-known educator, and we had to flee the country. My parents left everything behind and just came into the US under religious asylum with just 2 suitcases and the amount of pocket money that they could scrounger around the house because the bank accounts were shut down. It was a time that the Shah was overthrown, if you know any of the history of Iran. We came into this country. I was the child always in school that was picked on. I had immigrant parents, and it took me years to learn English. I couldn't find my voice. I was scared to mispronounce certain words little children when they don't look alike. I had ethnic foods that I would take to school, and the kids would make fun of me. Fast forward now, I'm sure a lot of you have gone to Rumi's Kitchen or Del Bar. That's the delicious soul food of Persian food. Back then, it was very hard. It was a different story. I didn't look like the other children in the South. I didn't eat the same food, and I had immigrant parents that worked around the clock to rebuild our life. My sisters and I remember when my parents, they would leave in the morning, they would not come back until late at night. I was the oldest of 2 sisters. Sometimes we would scoundrel up $5 because that's when Domino's Pizza first came out and you could get a cheese pizza delivered for $5. We'd go around the house and look for change. Those were very sweet memories that I hold on to now. Having very strict conservative parents at that time, and they didn't know life in America, and I don't blame them. I got married at a very young age, and I don't want to go into the detail of my marriages, but I got involved in a very toxic marriage. I have 2 beautiful children from that marriage. I know it was a part of my destiny. We all have beautiful soul contracts and we all have destinies. And the adversities that we go through are here planted on our journey for our growth. My first marriage I was in for 5 years. When I decided it was time to leave, there was a lot of abuse. I had a 6-month-old son and a 1.5-year-old daughter. Everyone told me I was crazy. What are you doing? Aren't you worried about your kids? I said, no. I do not want my kids to grow up in a toxic family environment. So being a single mom of 2 kids under the age of 2, I left. Being Middle Eastern and leaving is extremely difficult. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of learning to do. Middle Easterns, when it comes to certain things, are not as open-minded as Westerners. And so I felt so much guilt from the community. Why would you leave a marriage when you have 2 kids under the age of 2? And I didn't want to share what was happening behind closed doors. I had dignity for myself and I had pride. At that time, I was doing real estate, and slowly, 2 years later, I was introduced to my second husband. My second husband, we don't have any kids together. We were married for 5 years, and it was a very, very toxic environment. There was a lot of traumas that he had not resolved, and those traumas basically poured into our relationship and our life. I will never forget the night that I decided to leave my second marriage. When my daughter went to sleep that night, I could feel in my intuition there was something wrong, and I went up to her and I said, "What is wrong?" She said, "I don't want to go to sleep." And I said, "Why not?" She goes, "Because whenever I go to sleep, I can hear how he yells at you, and all the things that I was trying to cover and protect her from, she knew, she could hear." And so I packed up my stuff, I packed up my clothes, and I packed up my children's clothes, and I left all the things in this beautiful home that I created for the second time behind. And it was not easy to start over again. But there was this deep knowing within my soul, within my spirit, that I knew I deserved better. I knew there was a purpose and calling in my life, that I had not attained that destiny yet because I was not ready for it. It's interesting because it's almost a very magical moment tonight being here, because I'm a very spiritual person. I always have been, and I think there's a difference between spirituality and religion. Some of you might be spiritual and you might not have religion, and some of you might be religious and might not have spirituality, and some of you might be so blessed to have both. These are roots that ground us, that when we understand there is something greater and bigger than us, and we have certainty. We have certainty and that knowing within that everything in life is happening for us. Every single thing that happens in our life happens for us. The moments of adversity, the moments of pain, the moments of suffering, they build us. They create this beautiful version of us. And after my second divorce, I got really sick. I couldn't even walk from my bed to the kitchen. I got Lyme disease. And also, and I remember my doctor saying to me, don't go online and look at anything on Lyme disease, because it's going to scare you more. So what did I do? I did exactly that. And that's when I really turned into my spiritual practice. I said, I have to make myself better. Of course, I had numerous teachers and healers, but I had to be an advocate for myself and my health. And I plant that seed for each and every one of you. Your health is the greatest asset you will ever hold. Love on yourself. Love on yourself. Because when I look back now, I take complete responsibility for putting myself in those relationships. I take complete responsibility. I had not found my voice. I didn't know how precious my soul was, how worthy I was of love and respect and honor. And I love that there's so many men in this audience tonight, because as men, to be in tune with your divine masculine energy makes you a divine man. A man that can embrace the feminine energy within him, embrace the vulnerability, embrace the heart that creates the human experience for us. How have we lost that? We've lost that because we go around and we're too busy to make a 30-second eye contact with one another. 30-second eye contact with one another. And when we can understand everything is happening for us, my husband, third time, was a charm for me. He is this divine, masculine man who is videotaping. His name is Mike. And it's kind of synchronistic that we're here in this spot right here, because we met 20 years ago, over 7 seconds on the street. That's how we met. 7 seconds on the corner of Buckhead Grand. He came up to me and I had my suit on and I was, I had my name tag, and he said, I need a real estate agent. Will you be my agent? And the rest is history. And my daughter, who's here, which I'm so grateful for this journey of peaks and valleys, because it allowed me to step into my destiny. And it was to leave behind real estate and to coach women. I've led over 50 retreats around the world in many different countries. I've held over 1,000 women's circles around the world. And I'm just a vessel. I'm just a facilitator. I am a healer, but you are also a healer. Every single one of you is a healer of your life. When we say healer, it's that divinity within ourselves, that when we look inward and we see that divinity within ourselves, and we know we're never alone. We heal the pain and suffering. And one of the most important things in life for me now is intentionality. I teach that. Is to be intentional about every single thing that I do. I'm gonna mess up many times in a day, but at the end of the day, I take accountability on a journal or a meditation. How did I show up throughout the day? How did I show up for the gentleman that came at the restaurant, the waiter that was just rushing, and how did I show up for him? How did I hold space for him? And when you live an intentional life, miracles happen.
Amen.
Miracles happen. Your angels and your ancestors are following you every single step of your journey. You just have to connect to them. Whether it's a prayer, or it's journaling, or it's a meditation, just go inward for 15 minutes a day and see how life changes. It was all my spiritual practices that allowed me to heal myself, that my doctor, if he would have looked at me today, would have said, I don't even know how you're standing. Because the ultimate doctor is the creator. The ultimate healer is the creator. And when you decide to live your life intentional with what are you bringing into your home, what are you bringing into your circle, when you're just a little bit more intentional, you see that everything that comes into your life is for you, and also have that belief system that things that are removed from your life are for a protection. And so I would like to take just a couple of minutes, and this is just going to be a story meditation. I'm going to be playing a beautiful song and show you, when I say living life with intentionality, what that might look like. This is where you use your imagination and pretend that these candles are lit. So one of the ways that you can also heal is to get a picture of your younger self. I do this in my retreats. This is the child that left her homeland country and is so grateful to be in this country. To have my freedom, to have my voice, to have opportunities, to be able to be of service to humanity. So when you get a picture of yourself, a baby picture, the same way you would talk to your younger self is the way you should talk to yourself today. We criticize ourselves saying, I'm this, I'm not that. Is this how you would talk to your younger self? When we give ourselves permission to live a big life, filled with our dreams and our passions, we step into our greatness. So wherever that baby picture is of yourself, take it out. Love it. We owe ourselves so many apologies. We owe ourselves so many apologies. To give ourselves grace. To give ourselves grace for making the best decisions that we could. So I close with, I have a gift for each and every one of you. And these are something that when you take that baby picture out, okay, say this to yourself. Say this to yourself every single day. Give yourself the love that you deserve, because we are in charge of our own happiness. There's not going to be someone that comes and brings that joy to us every day if we are not intentional about our life. Ask yourself, what brings you joy? What brings you happiness? And tap into that, because that is your birthright. These are Palo Santo sticks that I would like to gift each and every one of you. If I could turn on the flame, I could demonstrate, but basically all you're gonna do is when you go home, you're gonna light a flame, you're gonna put the stick, you're gonna take the feather off. I just wanted you to have a feather for it to be a symbolism that your guardian angels are always with you. You are never alone, my dear, dear friends. You are never alone. So place the feather somewhere that you know that. Know that you are spiritually crafted. You're divinely crafted. And I'm honored and humbled to share my story and let you listen. Thank you.